but they are also, and importantly, in my view, real opportunities. The threats that I have outlined to developing economies are real, but they are also opportunities for developing economies. And for Africa, the most important opportunity is to wean ourselves off this debilitating dependency on overseas aid. We really have got to do that. I am old enough, and by the look of it, one of the oldest people in this room. You are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the CD. I remember going with my father to the launch of the CD. I was present as a small boy opposite the military hospital, waving a flag when Kwame Nkrumah and Princess Marina passed by in order to go and to make the Declaration of Independence. So I've been around. And I remember a time in which the GDP of the Gold Coast, Ghana, was greater than the GDP of Malaysia. So, and you know where we are now. So that would suggest that we really have got to rethink our economic model. And we have got to foster increasing self-reliance. We have got also to recognize the importance of reform, the reform of infrastructure, and a focus on infrastructural development. The importance of developing our human capital, not least of our youth, and of enhancing the capacity and quality of our institutions. That's an absolute imperative. And in doing that, we have to draw upon the skills that exist in Ghana, the real skills, the skills that exist in Africa and the wider diaspora. And we have also to recognize that, the WTO is going through a period of real crisis. And that's not going to change anytime soon. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be building in Africa on our own potential to develop our own initiative around the Africa Free Trade Area. It's absolutely central. Rather than wringing our hands about international and global trade, we need to look at continental trade and what we can do in order to bring down the barriers to trade within Africa and to improve intra-African trade. And for me, that means going beyond rhetoric to reality. It means policy reform so that the experience, there was reference earlier on to the Marcola market woman. I judge the success of the intra-African free trade area on what is the experience of that woman who is carrying produce on her head, who is carrying produce on her back, who is in the vehicle bringing her goods to market from one country to the other. What is her experience when she crosses a border? What's her experience when she crosses the border between Ghana and Togo, between Ghana and Abidjan? How is she treated? Is she harassed? Is she subject to corruption? Is she and her supply chain subject to tariffs that don't actually have any justification? So it's all about implementation. We have got the plans in Africa. The plans are there. They're in a very high quality. The question is implementation. That is the challenge. And I will just say this, that when it comes to implementation, we have got to recognize the importance of actually going beyond rhetoric. You know, when I was at school, we talked a lot about, too much rhetorics. Our headmaster, Kunwa, used to say, don't forget the school motto, esse quam videre, to be rather than to seem to be. We've actually got to live our solutions. It means that the private sector, and I salute KPMG for the work they're doing in that, the private sector and the public sector have to be able to work effectively together. We have to tackle these issues of procurement. We've got to remove the obstacles to doing business. We've got to unlock the natural enterprise that exists within our people. And the role of government, whether in the UK or in Ghana, the role of government is to be an enabler. Government can't do everything. What government can do is to create an enabling environment. So I wish the government of Ghana, I wish my government in the UK well as they wrestle with the challenges of these times. But you know, the answer ultimately lies not in governments. The answer lies in people, lies in you all, lies in your businesses, your sense of enterprise, your sense too of collective responsibility for nation building. And that applies whether we are in Ghana or in the UK. And the one final thing I will say to you, as I said when I addressed the Africa Caucus of the IMF and the World Bank in Abuja last year, is that we need to put the youth and the youth demographic at the center of our policy making. Because Ghana's youth, Africa's youth, are the future. The future not only for Africa, and don't forget we have the fastest growing youth population in the world. We are the youngest continent as well as the oldest continent. The oldest continent geologically, the youngest continent in terms of demographic. We have to put them at the heart of our policy making. And that means making sure that we don't just build their capacity, but that we provide them with employment and we encourage and support their own efforts for employment going forward. And that older men and women are prepared to make way for younger men and women and to join with them across the generations in delivering on the dream that our foremothers and our forefathers had for this continent. And that means opening ourselves up to the possibilities of AI. It means recognizing the importance of blockchain technology. I do hope that features in the course of your deliberations today, because that's the future. And sometimes we as older men and women wrestle with that. But believe you me, AI and blockchain are going to change our world. And Africa has to be at the heart and at the forefront of that. So I wish you well. I thank you for all you are doing. And there was a phrase that I learned when I was British High Commissioner to South Africa. I learned it from the Zulu and the Xhosa people. And it's a simple word, but it means everything. And that word is vikuzenzele. Vikuzenzele. If there are any South Africans in the room, they will recognize that word. But you know what it means? It means this: get up, get out there, and just do it.